Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's the weekend roundup. So recently Sony said what we all knew for a while. They're not making any more handhelds. No big surprise there. Jim Ryan, the president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, told Game Informer that their most recent portable, the PlayStation Vita, quote, was brilliant in many ways and the actual gaming experience was great, but clearly it's a business that we're no longer in now. Again, no surprise. The Vita was a big sales disappointment. I say that as someone who owns a Vita. I still love it. I feel like Sony abandoned it early. That's another story though. But we've heard for years though that smartphones would replace portables. Experts said sure, the DS sold like crazy, but nowadays nobody's gonna want to lug around a dedicated gaming device in addition to their phone. But there's a big but. Some recent sales numbers from Nintendo seem to indicate that portables are still really popular. Nintendo announced that during the busy Thanksgiving shopping week from November 24th through the 30th, the Switch had its best week ever of sales in the US. That obviously includes Black Friday, the busiest shopping day of the year. That's crucially important time for video game makers because that's when people are buying holiday gifts. But if you combine the OG Switch and the new Switch Lite, Nintendo sold more than 830,000 units in the US during the Thanksgiving shopping week. That is the single best week of sales in the US in the history of the Switch. Guess what? The Switch Lite is completely portable. I think people might like it. Now, Nintendo didn't break out how much of that was Switch Lite, but they did say that the results were bolstered in part by the recently introduced Nintendo Switch Lite system. Side note, why they didn't call it the Lite Switch, I will never know. That's just leaving more money on the table. Overall, Nintendo sold 17.5 million Switches just in the US. This would kind of support the theory, this is my theory too, that people do still love portables, and I'd argue they love having lots of portable things, not just a phone. What the Switch has shown that is if a portable has a lot of games, a lot of developer support, people will buy it. While dedicated consoles and PCs are great, you can take a portable anywhere, which is something that can't be duplicated. That's why the Switch is so popular. It can do both. Nintendo, it's obviously put its own IP on the Switch, but it also rolled out the red carpet for indie developers to round out the library. And in some cases, like with Dead Cells, the Switch even outsold all other consoles for that game. Oh, and you'll notice that even big AAA games like Doom, Witcher 3, others got ported over to the Switch too, because if an audience is there, the developers will come running. Anyway, maybe Nintendo's the only company that can successfully make a portable now, I don't know. But it's a bummer to see PlayStation take all the wrong lessons about the Vita, because I feel like the lesson they should take is try again, maybe support it this time, you might be surprised. All right, moving on. We know that both Microsoft and Sony are coming out with their next-gen consoles a year from now. But there were also reports that Microsoft was going to release a cheaper discless version of the new Xbox as well. It was codenamed Project Lockhart, but then reports came out that it was canceled and everybody's like, oh, all right, well, that was just one of those things that didn't make it. Well, now Kotaku is reporting that the cheaper version of the console is still in the works, citing 4 people who are, quote, briefed on the company's plans. Now, of course, we've seen Microsoft experiment with the discless Xbox One S this generation, but the next gen one won't be as powerful as the full-priced console. One person compared it to a PS4 Pro in terms of graphical power. That's the last gen. How are you going to make a next gen console that's I don't know. Microsoft, to no one's surprise, would not comment. We might have a release date. All right, a release year for the next Spider-Man game. Imran Khan of Kind of Funny Games said in a recent broadcast that he thinks Spider-Man 2 won't come out alongside the launch of the PlayStation 5 next year, but instead it'll be a holiday game in 2021. That means about 2 years away. And then he added very mysteriously, I know too much about this, so I can't speculate too much. I think Spider-Man 2 will come sooner than we think. Sounds like you're saying 2 years, dude. I'm just saying. Obviously, given the success of last year's Spider-Man, there's no doubt a sequel's coming. It's undoubtedly a huge reason why Sony acquired Insomniac Games. I can't wait to play it. Great game. Speaking of games in the works, the cover art for the Resident Evil 3 remake has leaked. The site Gamestat, which tracks additions to the PlayStation Network, found cover art for the Japanese and international versions of the remake. One version shows Jill Valentine along with Carlos Oliveira, and in the background, of course, Nemesis. This has not been officially confirmed. Lots of people are anticipating an announcement soon. The YouTuber Spawnwave has said that the game will launch in 2020. And given the success, again, of the Resident Evil 2 remake, that was a game of the year, this one is a no-brainer. All right, I love this story. Snoop Dogg is officially into hockey. In a recent patch to NHL 20, EA added the D-O-double-G as a playable character in the World of Chell mode. And even cooler, they added him as a guest commentator. Lots of people were noticing it on YouTube, posting clips. This isn't Snoop's first NHL appearance. He called the game for the LA Kings earlier this year, where we got the instant classic line,
"Drop the sticks, man. Let's get cracking, man. To the middle of the rink. Let's go."
He rules. So this is a natural choice, obviously, for NHL 20. Plus, EA has also suggested we might be seeing some more celebrity guests, like Drake, Will Ferrell, and Wayne Gretzky. He's not just a celebrity, he played hockey really well. So stay tuned. All right, time for a 5-second review. I bought this on Stadia. It was $40. I'm kidding, I would never buy Stadia. All right, on to the games coming soon. Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries is a BattleTech mecha game that's the first single-player Mechwarrior game since 2002. In the game, the year is 3015. Ooh, that's far in advance. Humanity has colonized thousands of systems across a vast region of space. You will level entire cities and decimate armies while piloting hundreds of unique battle mech variants. Follow a path of interstellar intrigue in a quest for glory and revenge as the leader of a mercenary company, and you get to manage the intricacies of running your company, from maintenance and the acquisition of battle mechs to the hiring of fellow mech warriors. It comes to the Epic Game Store December 10th. Avicii Invector is a rhythm game that was created in collaboration with the late superstar DJ. Soar through vocal melodies, sweep each fade, and attack every beat in 25 of Avicii's biggest hits, including the global chart toppers Without You, Wake Me Up, and Lay Me Down. It comes to PC and Xbox One December 10th. Call of Juarez Gunslinger is a real homage to the Wild West tales. Live the epic and violent journey of a ruthless bounty hunter on the trail of the West's most notorious outlaws. From Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett, to Jesse James, you face down the Wild West's most notorious figures and live the untold stories behind the legends. You can personalize your skills, master your weapons, unleash lethal combos, and become the best gunslinger the Wild West has ever seen. Blaze a trail through the wilderness and stunning landscapes and live an epic adventure of a ruthless bounty hunter on a journey made of all-out gun battles. It's out for the Switch December 10th. In Blacksad, Under the Skin, you will play as a charismatic detective, John Blacksad, investigating a dark corruption scandal in the heart of New York City's underworld. Also, he's a big cat. It's got anthropomorphic characters and its incredible 1950s feel. This game promises a dark adventure, kind of like a detective novel. It's also based on a comic book series, so that's something too. Conduct the investigation your own way. Make use of your feline senses as you hunt for new clues. A cat would make a good detective, I feel. A dog would just sniff around and eat a bunch of things. A cat would get to the bottom of this. Make decisions on behalf of Blacksad and influence the outcome of the case. It's out on other platforms, but it comes to the Switch December 10th. The latest expansion for Hearthstone is here. Great, I gotta buy some more cards. Descent of Dragons is Hearthstone's 13th expansion. Features 140 new cards. Can we please get rid of shamans? They have been dominating for too long. Let some more decks get into the meta. This one does look like it'll be pretty beefy. This expansion introduces the new keyword Invoke, also powerful Galakron hero cards, and the side quest mechanic. All right, we're making Hearthstone a little more complicated. It's out for PC and mobile December 10th. Goodbye, Brian's wallet. Transport Fever 2 is a transport simulation game where you discover a whole new world by navigating transport routes through land, water, and air. Provide the world with the transport infrastructure it needs. Make a fortune with custom-made services. You can watch your trains run on rails, watch your buses, watch your trucks, your ships, your planes. You got everything. You can deliver raw materials and goods to drive the economy. Experience the greatest logistical challenges from 1850 to the present day, and and build a transport empire unrivaled anywhere else around the world. There's a free play mode. Also, there's 3 campaigns that take place across 3 continents with over 20 hours of playing time. It's also got editors for creating maps and editing saved games, as well as 3 landscape types. There's moderate, dry, tropical. You got over 200 vehicles to choose from: trains, buses, streetcars, trucks, aircraft, and ships. What more do you want, for real? It's out for PC December 11th. And finally, Jamestown Plus is a shoot 'em up that's friendly to newcomers while also offering a challenge to die-hard fans of the genre. It's set on 17th century British colonial Mars. We colonized Mars in the 17th century? I feel like we would have read about this. Jamestown Plus is a neoclassical cooperative shoot 'em up for up to 4 players. It's got great pixel art, an orchestral soundtrack that will immerse you in battle to protect Britain's last bastion, the Jamestown colony. Jamestown Plus features all the intensity, depth, and lovingly handcrafted pixels of a classic arcade shooter with a modern twist, deeply integrated cooperative gameplay. Kind of looks like Xevious when I saw it. That's a real old school shout out, but that's kind of what it reminded me of. It's out for PC and Switch December 12th. All right, that is all the news we've got for you today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Drugs and cocaine, hooked on with it!
Let's talk about drugs and video games, and we're not talking about the time that you chugged 4 Code Reds and stayed up all night playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah, we're talking about the hard stuff, because apparently there are people out there who are using their PlayStation 4s for more than just playing Fortnite.
Shaking my head. While criminal activity isn't unheard of in video games, the story is a perfect fit